Anthony Sessa, the wolf from Philly. The first time Brooklyn laid eyes on Anthony Sessa, the air got heavy. He stepped off that midnight Amtrak from 30th Street Station, wearing a dark overcoat, smoke curling from his cigarette like it was his own personal fog machine. Philly had its killers, but Sessa, he wasn't just another button man. He was a problem solver. The kind of guy you sent when you wanted chaos turned into order, or a man turned into dust. Word on the street said he was coming at the personal request of Goku D'Angelo. Brooklyn was slipping. Too many betrayals. Too many mouths whispering in shadows. Trock was dead. Harlow's betrayal was still stinking up the borough, and Christian Zintelli was making his move, smooth as oil. Goku needed somebody who wasn't tangled in New York politics. Someone clean of the Brooklyn mud. Philly muscle with no Brooklyn loyalties. That someone was Anthony Sessa. The sit-down La Tavola Nera, back room, candlelight low. Goku at the head, Nick Palermo to his right, Bambi Palermo sitting back with that watchful fire in her eyes, and Lopez leaning in the corner, silent but loaded. The door creaks. In walks Sessa, tall, lean, scars on his knuckles from fights nobody dared to ask about. He don't bow, don't kiss rings, just nods once and takes the chair left open like it was meant for him. Brooklyn's boilin', Goku says, voice gravel deep. We need a man who don't spook easy, a man who's got no skin in the local games. Philly tells me you're that man. Sessa just lights another smoke, exhales slow. I ain't here to make friends. I ain't here to play your politics. I'm here 'cause Philly don't like the smell of Kansas City creeping into New York. And if I'm being honest, neither do I. You want order? You want the streets to remember what fear feels like? Then I'm your guy, but I ain't nobody's errand boy. I work with ya, not for ya. Nick bristles, but Bambi leans forward, smirking. Good. We don't need another soldier. We need a wolf. The move first job? He don't waste time. Within a week, Sessa cracks heads in Bay Ridge, wipes out a crew trying to skim dock shipments under Zintelli's nose. Sends the survivors back to Kansas City missing teeth and dignity. Leaves one alive with a broken jaw just so the story spreads faster than wildfire. By the end of the month, everybody's whispering it. Anthony Sessa ain't Brooklyn. He ain't Philly. He's the blade between. The streets of Brooklyn don't trust outsiders. But Anthony Sessa ain't looking for trust. He's looking for blood, order, and maybe a shot at his own piece of the pie. And whether Brooklyn wants him or not, the wolf from Philly's here to stay. Brooklyn Bloodlines Season 2, coming soon, whether you're ready or not. Bambi's Twisted Tales, The Nightmare. Before Christmas, The Corpse King's Folly, The Hollow Crown. Jack Skellington, The Pumpkin King. Sounds regal, right? But you look past the grins and the fireworks, and what is he? A corpse in a crown of rot. His kingdom, a carnival built on bones. Halloween Town wasn't cute. It was a prison of the dead. Skeletons, zombies, ghouls. They ain't having fun. They're serving. Every October they march out, dragging horrors into the mortal world just to feed Jack's throne with screams. Jack wasn't bored of Halloween. He was empty. Every soul he drained went into the pit inside him, and it still wasn't enough. That hunger's what made him look over the wall. The Forest of Doors. Jack wandered out, stumbling through fog thick as grave dirt, until he found it. Trees with doors carved in their trunks, each one painted with a season. Easter, Valentine's, Thanksgiving. Portals into other worlds, other sources of souls. And Jack, hungry, greedy bastard, picked the one with a tree that promised warmth. A fucking lie. The Christmas door. The theft of joy. He stepped through and landed in a world of sugar and lies. Snow fell soft as ashes, lights blinked like watchful eyes, carolers hummed hymns too sweet to be holy. Jack thought it was paradise, but what he really saw was power, a holiday built not on fear but devotion. Worship without blood. He wanted it. He needed it. So he did what all tyrants do. He stole it. Kidnapped Sandy Claus, dragged the fat bastard into the shadows, stuffed him in a sack. Jack dressed himself in red, stapled on a fake beard, and thought he could play God in a borrowed suit. The Christmas Massacre. You know what happened next. Jack flew his sleigh, skulls on the reindeer, coffin for a carriage, straight into the human world. But instead of toys, he dropped weapons. Instead of dolls, he left corpses stitched with grins. Christmas morning was a massacre. Kids screaming, parents clutching knives, towns set ablaze by presents that breathed fire. The mortals begged for their real savior, but Sandy Claus was trapped, struggling in the dungeon of Oogie Boogie, a sack of bugs wearing a smile like a slit throat. Sally's warning. Only one saw through Jack's madness, Sally. A rag doll stitched from corpses, animated with witchcraft, cursed to feel every cut of the thread. She tried to stop him. She begged him. But you ever try talking sense into a tyrant? Jack didn't listen. To him, she was fabric, not a person. He loved the idea of her, not the truth of her. And she knew, if Jack didn't stop, Halloween Town wasn't just doomed. The mortal world would learn to fear forever. No more holidays, just endless screams. The fall of the Pumpkin King. The mortals fought back. Cannons tore through the sky, blowing holes in his coffin sleigh. The reindeer, skinned corpses stitched together, exploded in red light. Jack fell from the sky, crashed in a graveyard, bones cracked, pride shattered. And there, lying in the ash, he laughed. "What have I done?" he cried. But it wasn't regret. It was revelation. He realized destruction itself was the holiday he was always meant to own. He didn't want Christmas. He wanted everything. The Pumpkin King rose again, grinning wider than before. Sandy Claus returned. Sandy Claus broke free, crushed Oogie Boogie under his boot, and restored his realm. Snow fell clean again. Lights glowed soft. Mortals sang their carols. But it wasn't joy. It was relief. And in their eyes lingered a shadow of fear, a memory of skulls hanging from chimneys and blood under ribbons. And fear, Bambina, never really leaves. It just hides under the bed, waiting. The eternal cycle, Halloween Town, went back to normal. Jack promised to stick to his holiday. Sally stitched herself up again, smiling through the pain. But listen, power don't quit. The Pumpkin King didn't learn. He just waited. Waited until the next time hunger chewed through his ribs and whispered, "What if Easter? What if Valentine's?" Because once you steal one holiday, you never stop. You want 'em all. Moral of the story. Don't confuse leadership with hunger. A crown don't make you noble. It just makes your greed official. And if you worship someone just 'cause they're bigger, louder, flashier, they'll drag your Christmas into the grave with them. This has been Bambi's Twisted Tales. And remember, this ain't just a channel. It's the Pizzaverse. We don't sing you carols. We rip the bells from the church tower and show you the rust underneath. Smash that like, hit subscribe, and ring the bell before Jack comes knocking on your door wearing red and leaving nothing but bones under your tree.